What's up, my Heat squad? It is your boy Ernest, and I am back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody's having a beautiful day so far. Guys, please help me, do me a favor, and don't forget to click that subscribe button before we move forward. It takes just a few seconds to do that, and it would really help me out. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so I definitely need your help to get there. And together, off we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, before we get there, there's a few things I want to talk about. I want to talk about how yesterday the NBA did release from the board of directors a new ruling on load management. So I want to talk about if that affects us. And then secondly, I want to talk about a new player that's been linked to the Miami Heat as a part of a free agent signing. Before I do that, though, yesterday in my video, I talked about how the Miami Heat were hesitant on including Caleb Martin on the trade package for Damian Lillard. And the comments that I got were amazing. You guys, you're the reason why I'm able to cut these videos and I have fun doing it. Because it's not only these videos I'm posting, but we have great discussions, and I love that. But in part of those discussions, I was getting a lot of backlash from a certain player, and this is the player whose jersey I'm rocking. No, it is not Goran Dragic. It's Big Booty Kyle Lowry. I have an appreciation for Kyle Lowry. And it seems like people don't. And I'm not just talking about people that are not Heat fans, but Heat fans also. And I want to give flowers to Kyle Lowry really quick because I think we're forgetting what Kyle Lowry has brought to the Miami Heat. Let's not forget in the 2021-2022 season when he was traded here, Kyle Lowry was a main reason why the Miami Heat made the first seed. Let's not forget that during that 2022 season, Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo missed long stretches of games. Jimmy Butler was out with a tailbone injury. Bam Adebayo was out with another injury as well. They missed multiple weeks. And in that time frame, the Miami Heat were able to stay as the number one seed because of QB1, Kyle Lowry. Now look, I know, Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? Her famous song. The 2023 season was very rocky for Kyle Lowry. He missed a lot of time during injury. He came back, and he came off the bench. But we saw during that time, especially in the playoffs, Kyle Lowry stepped up big. He had some big games. Not just offensively when he would get games scoring 15 to 18 points, but on the defensive end as well. And being 37 years old, still being able to keep up with these young players, it says something. Kyle Lowry brought what Chris Paul brought to the Phoenix Suns. That's what Kyle Lowry brought to us. Now, unfortunately, because of age and injury, he hasn't really fully, I would say, succeeded the $85 million contract that we gave him. I understand he was vastly overpaid. But the fact that people are saying, get rid of him and Kyle Lowry sucks, that's not the case. Kyle Lowry still brings quality as a backup point guard. And let's not forget that this dude brings no drama also. Because when Gabe Vincent took over the starting point guard role during the 2023 season, Kyle Lowry was cool with it. Kyle Lowry actually mentored Gabe Vincent to move on. So Kyle Lowry does bring great stuff into the table. Now, why am I mentioning this? Because if Kyle Lowry is a part of a Portland Trailblazers trade and he goes to Portland, this is hugely beneficial for Portland for two reasons. One, he's on the final year of his deal. So he comes off your books. That's beautiful for a rebuilding team. Secondly, he has great mentorship. I've seen some people in my comments say some outlandish, crazy stuff on how Damian Lillard will not be traded to the Miami Heat. He will go to training camp with Portland and mentor Scoot Henderson. I want to know, for the people that are actually saying that, what the hell are you smoking? Because that's got to be some amazing stuff. Because if you think at 33 years old, Damian Lillard's at a point of his stage right now that he wants to mentor young guys and not win at all, then you obviously did not see the interview between Damian Lillard and Mark Spears. Because Mark Spears asked him, what is the priority for your career right now? And Damian Lillard said, winning a championship is the biggest goal right now. That's obviously not Portland. So Portland fans, it's time to get over it. It's time to get over the 5 stages of grief. Dame Lillard being traded, it's going to happen. Get over it. Now let's move on. So let's talk about a few things, you guys. First and foremost, I want to talk about this new ruling that was released by the NBA Board of Directors. So it's been rumored for the last few days, but it has been agreed upon. So the NBA has agreed that as of now, they're going to start penalizing teams for resting their players. They basically put out recently that if an NBA team rests two star players from a game, they will be penalized. The first offense is $100,000. The second offense is $250,000. The third offense, and then after that, is $1 million more than the previous penalty for each additional line. So what that means, third penalty is $1 million. Fourth penalty, $1 million more. So that's $2 million, and then $3 million, and $4 million. So if they continue to penalize it, they're going to be charged up the yin-yang. I really appreciate what the NBA is doing. I think that's a great thing to do because we've seen it, and we've seen it here in the Miami Heat. I'm sure you guys remember that game last season where that boy with his sister flew 40,000 miles or 4,000. I don't remember. It's 4 to 40. I think it was 4,000. Let's not exaggerate. But they flew like 4 to 5,000 miles to see Jimmy Butler. When they showed up to the game, dude was decked out in Jimmy Butler gear, ready to see Jimmy. 30 minutes before the game, they get an update that Jimmy Butler's not playing. Load management. That sucks. That sucks. And I've been saying this for years. I know that Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs started this, and I know people say that they're ruining the game. I understand from the team's perspective. You want to rest your players. You want to make sure that they're healthy for the playoffs, especially for a guy like Jimmy Butler and possibly Dame Lillard if we trade for them. You don't want those guys playing 82 games because when it comes to playoff time, they may be gassed out. We've seen it with Jimmy Butler the last few years. If you play him 60 to 65 games during the season, come playoff time, he will be ready. I fully believe that, but I understand what the NBA is doing, and I respect it, and I appreciate it, because as an NBA fan, I am sick and tired of seeing guys like Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and a bunch of other players take advantage of this stupid thing. You are paid millions of dollars to play basketball. Play the fucking game. That's it. That's it. We all work. We all have jobs. You guys tell me, managers like myself, if you have an employee who is calling out at least once a week, you get rid of that employee. That employee has no value. But the NBA is different. People with the highest values can do whatever the hell they want. The NBA is trying to stop that, and I respect that. Now, how is that going to affect the Miami Heat? Well, we are an older team. We do have a team with older players. We have Jimmy Butler. We have Kevin Love. If we keep Kyle Lowry, if we get Damian Lillard, we do have older players. But it's like I've said before when the NBA makes these new rules. It's just like the brand new CBA. Anytime the NBA does something or changes a rule, teams are immediately trying to find a way to go over that. Trying to find a way to see how they can manipulate the new rules. So, for example, let's say Jimmy Butler and Damian Lillard are playing together next season. Both of them don't play a game. Instead of the Miami Heat saying that they're both resting, you can say Jimmy Butler has a sore ankle. Dame Lillard has a sore hamstring. Issue resolved. So I respect the NBA. I definitely get what they're trying to do, and I appreciate that as a fan, but teams are going to find a way to go around that. That's just the way it is. So I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Do you appreciate the NBA trying to make star players play? And remember, these are star players. These are not just role players. What qualifies you as a star player? If you've been an all-star or an all-NBA team player for the last 3 seasons, you qualify. For guys like Victor Wembanyama, he's technically going to be a star player, but he's not an all-star or an all-NBA player. So San Antonio technically this season can rest him unless the NBA changes that. Unless the NBA says, well, no, because of his popularity, we see him as a star. So this is going to be a really interesting thing to see during the season. I think some teams may just do a violation, $100,000 $100,000 for us is all the money in the world. $100,000 for an NBA team is basically $10 to us, or $100, basically. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And the final topic that I want to talk about today, you guys, it was linked earlier this morning or late last night that Lamar Stevens has been linked as a possible pickup for the Miami Heat. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I wasn't too familiar on Lamar Stevens, so I had to take a moment to watch his highlights and look at his stats. And from what I saw, you guys, I love it. I think Lamar Stevens would be a great addition. Now, he's 6'6", 230 pounds. He's another wing player. He's a guy that can play the small forward and the power forward position. So I get what a lot of people are thinking. Why are we talking about guys like Kelly Oubre, Lamar Stevens? In my Kelly Oubre campaign video, there were some people saying that we need size. Why are we getting wing players? Well, remember, we did upgrade in size. We got Thomas Bryant. We have Bam Adebayo, we have Kevin Love, and we have Orlando Robinson waiting in the wings. I understand how people are concerned about the fact that the Miami Heat hasn't really gotten anyone that can challenge Nikola Jokic. In the NBA Finals, you guys, people don't give Bam Adebayo the credit that he deserves. I think Bam Adebayo did his job against Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is just that good. He's just that great. And Miami Heat don't have the salary right now to go out and swing for the fences to get a big man. Right now, we're going all in for Damian Lillard. Why? Because one thing we lacked against the Denver Nuggets was scoring. We were relying too much on Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Dame Lillard is going to take that tension off of them. Bringing Dame Lillard in, you guys, you're bringing a guy who averaged 32 points a game last season. That's what Miami needs against the Denver Nuggets and against other teams. We'll figure out the defense. We're that good. Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA. Now, by bringing in Lamar Stevens, you're bringing in a guy. This dude is a beast on the defensive end. You see him play. He locks down people. He's like another Caleb Martin, like a Swiss Army knife. That is value. Now, this guy's an undrafted player, which screams Miami Heat culture for the success that he's had in his career. And the fact that he could come here and we can help him develop and become better, I see a potential Caleb Martin. Now, he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers last season, averaged 18 minutes a game, 5.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, 44% for the field, 31% beyond the arc. He was traded to San Antonio as a part of the Max Strus trade to Cleveland, released by San Antonio, so he's available. I think Miami, you're going to have a decision to make. It's either Kelly Oubre or Lamar Stevens. I want to know who you guys prefer. Now, look, Kelly Oubre is the popular option. He has the bigger name because he's a scorer. But Lamar Stevens is a Heat culture type of player. The way that he defends, the way that he plays, I said it before and I'll say it again. It reminds me a lot of Caleb Martin. So I want to ask you guys, who would you prefer? Lamar Stevens or Kelly Oubre? Also, you guys, take a moment. Let me know your thoughts on this new NBA rule changing about resting players. Do you think it's a benefit or do you think it's just annoying? Sorry about the Kyle Lowry rant, you guys. I know a lot of you don't agree with me, but I have nothing but love and respect for Kyle Lowry. I appreciate what he's done for us the last 2 seasons. I know we haven't won a championship, but with bringing Kyle Lowry to this team, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. He had something to do with that. So my flowers go to you, Kyle Lowry. Guys, please take a moment, smash the like button if you like what you saw. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click my notification bell for all my updates. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Let's go Heat.